We jump to the south side of Chi-Town, and just like the Cubs, I think the White Sox might have a pretty damn good draft too. We start with our first pick, 95 potential, Alfredo Ibar, Venezuelan left fielder. Oh boy, they might have picked a bust because I'm not seeing it here. I'm not seeing A potential in this. I'm seeing C potential. This is ridiculous. Fielding is not too shabby. No, fielding is terrible. What the hell am I talking about? 59 speed. He apparently hits lefties a lot better than righties, though the numbers just literally do not show this. Except they choose a starter. Oliver Baroa from Panama throws 5 pitches with a 60 stamina. Fastball, a 4-seamer. Splitter is his 5th pitch. Changeup, slider, and a curveball in about the mid to low 80s. Oh boy, his home run, he's not going to give up home runs all that often, as he has good enough control. Yes, 60 control is actually good. He's definitely got potential. I see why they gave him the C. If he can, stick it out a little longer in the game, maybe get his stamina up. His durability's there, 81. His arm is there. He's not much of a fielder. He's not going to hit worth for damn. He might hit lefties a little bit. Might hit lefties a little bit. 18, He's going to a National League team. No, sorry, he's in American League. He may never put the bat in his hands at that point. Next up, Fernando Alfaro, 22 years old, not leaving home. Illinois boy. He is actually good in the fielding department. Arm strength could use some work. Speed is not too shabby. He's not too shabby all across the board. His durability is going to need some work, though. Hits righties better than lefties, as most lefty batters do. Next up, Johnny O'Neill. Floridian, 19 years old. Gonna need to work on that bat, per usual. He's not a fielder, and he's okay on the speed, so it's like, what is your calling card? What are you good at? Are you just a speed guy? Can you actually hit? Maybe the scouts are wrong. Maybe. I hope they're wrong. Next up is George Cabrera from the Dominican Republic. Pull hitter, 21 years old, 6'3", 184. Another guy who just don't hit very well. He's actually a much better fielder than the last guy I just mentioned. His arm strength is just not there. He basically has a noodle. Good reaction and okay speed, I guess. Hits lefties better than righties, depending on how you look at things. Next up is Andre Lane from New York. 21 years old, righty batter. Why is he a deep potential? He's got major league righty-lefty bat there. Does he hit for power? No. Is he a great fielder? Hell no. His arm strength was okay. He's not very fast. He's DH through and through. Clutch, and he's clutch. Hell, he could be a bench bat too. And that is the South Side White Sox. The Kansas City Royals, team of my dude Crazy Coach on Twitch. And these are the players that they have him slated to take, or his team slated to take. He's got nothing to do with this franchise, other than when he watches it occasionally. All right, Jimmy Owen is the first pick, 92 potential, 21 years old, ready from Colombia. He's not much of a bat in his hand. He is relatively durable. His fielding is needs work. Speed not really there. Why is he an A potential? I don't understand this. Nothing tells me that this guy is an A potential at all, but it is what it is. Pull hitter. Next up, they got shortstop Joe Snyder, West Virginian, lefty batting, righty throwing. A little better with the bat in his hands. Vision is okay. Durability, he's going to need to work with a yoga instructor. Fielding, not apropos for a shortstop. Arm strength also. Speed, if you get a fast shortstop, cool. He's all right. Jeez Louise, where are they coming up with these damn potentials? Next up, Don Cronin, 59 overall, 77 potential. He's a switch hitter, but he's a reliever, so I'm not expecting much out of that. Righty throwing, He's got a four-seam slider and a changeup. Not very hard throwing at all. He's got almost starter stamina, but that's probably more of an emergency start or guy as an opener. You want him to go a couple of innings. K per 9, you can work with that. Hit per 9, maybe not so much. Home runs per 9 is, again, you can work with that. Pitch clutch, control, velocities. Again, velocity is not very hard, so he's not going to blow anybody away. I guess he'll get by with break, depending on which one of those pitches actually has the 46 break. It's probably the slider. Arm strength is good, and do not put a bat in his hands. Next up, we have Corey Hogg, 22-year-old, 6'3", 197, second baseman from Florida. Okay with the bat in his hands. I mean, he's 22 years old. He fields actually not too shabby, and he's got good speed, so that may keep him on the field or keep him out there as a defensive replacement. Not much really to speak of for him. Next up, relief pitcher Ali Diaz from Ohio, lefty throwing, lefty batter, 21, 6'5", 202. Hit per 9s and K per 9s are, you can work with that. He's going to need to work on his ability to command the strike zone in 31 walks per 9. Pitch clutch is okay. Velocity is up there though. 96 on the 4-seam, 95 on the 2-seam, 88 on a slider, and just a pepper in the curveball coming in at 82. Solid arm strength, a good arm strength as a matter of fact. And another guy with the don't put the bat in this guy's hands. Manny Cabrera, 22 years old, Dominican Republic shortstop, 65 overall. He's not too shabby with the bat in his hands. Going to need to work on the vision and discipline. Durability, definitely up there. Good enough fielder to command shortstop. Good speed. 62 potential. And last but not least, Deacon Morin, starting pitcher from South Carolina, 18 years old, righty. Elite stamina. Gonna need to work on the per 9s. Clutches, control, good. Again, he's 18, so what are you really expecting? Every once in a blue moon you'll end up with a guy that is pretty good all across the board. Fielding, don't put two gloves in his hands, it won't matter. Arm strength is definitely up there, so shot in the dark, maybe if he ever got his fielding up there, he'd throw him in a position or something. I'm kidding. And let me see, he actually can bunt a decent amount. Durability, okay. 4-pitch repertoire, 4-seam slider, changeup, and a curveball. We're looking at Miguel Sano's future replacement in Luis Ramos for the Twins. 81 potential. The man has major league bat against lefties. Well, maybe more so righties than lefties, but that 66 is good enough. And he's a switch hitter at that. Vision, very good. Discipline, good. Clutch, good as well. Doesn't bunt, who cares? Honestly, he's a solid enough fielder that you can live with that 63. Matter of fact, that's probably one of the better fielding first basemen. Durability, he's definitely got it. You're going to have to spell him from time to time, but the man is a hitter, a great first pick if they choose to take him. Next is Richie Montero, throws 3 pitches. That's it, from the lefty from Pennsylvania. 4-seam curveball and a running fastball, which a running fastball runs is essentially the opposite of a cutter. It runs pitch side or pitching hand side away. Good hit and K per 9s for a guy so young. Gonna need to work on his ability to keep the ball where he wants it as far as control and walks per 9. Home runs per 9 is all right. Good velocity, good break, and not much of a fielder. Does not hit, and his durability is okay. Next is Nick Black, Ohio-born, 18-year-old. He is, contact isn't really there. He's a center fielder, but the fielding is okay. Arm's not there, so I don't know why he's playing center. And his speed's good, so he's at least a speed guy. He can at least run the base pass. Next is Adrian Paul, who's got, again, major league contact. Hitting 69 against righties, 77 against lefties, 72 vision, 72 clutch, 64 discipline. You're getting a near major league type hitter, probably a DH. Durability is up there. His fielding is okay. He's not very fast. Doesn't play any other positions, but he's a big dude. Maybe first base is just all he needs to play. Next, no relation to Bacon of the Bacon's fictional roster creation. Oklahoma-born 21-year-old, 6', 197. He's got hit per nines, which are good for, a guy who probably spent some time in the minors. Chase per nine, gonna need to work on it. He only throws 3 pitches. 4-seam, slider, curveball. Velocity is good enough. The break is just not there, which does not bode well for pitches like the slider and the curveball. 4-seam, the break doesn't matter a hell of a whole lot. His arm strength is up there. He's not a batter. He's not very durable. But if he's only giving you an inning or so, or even facing the final 2 batters or the last batter of an inning, just to kind of circumvent the 3-batter rule, I think he's good enough to do that at some point. Next is Rich Roush, Australian, 21 years old, 6'4", 197. He hits for righty power and a little bit for lefty power. Not a fielder, not very fast. He plays first base, and that's like the 4th one I've seen from them. Why so many first basemen? Unless somebody plays another position or you really, really are running low on, come on. I know you could have chosen another position, but whatever, I'm not there. I didn't create this mock, and yeah. Lastly is Jeff Pesky, 84 potential and a 70 overall. He may be pesky to a lot of batters pretty damn soon. Throws 4 pitches, the running fastball, the slider, curveball, and a changeup. Elite stamina, damn good hit per nine. Ks per nine, walks per nine, gonna need some work. Average at best, if not a little better than average on the home runs per nine. Velocity, all right. Break is not too shabby. He does not hit, but he can bunt a little something he does. He's going to be playing for an American League team, so you may not bunt too often. Maybe only in interleague games, and his durability is at a 75, so he should be pretty damn good. Is up next, and they don't have too shabby of a draft from what I can see here. We begin with the first guy they have the mock to select is Pat Murdoch, second baseman from Canada, 20 years old, lefty batter. He's a good fielder, not very fast, doesn't hit very well all of the yet. Apparently hits lefties better than righties according to hot and cold zones. Pull hitter at that, remains to be seen. Next up is Bernardo Bourbon from the Dominican Republic, 18 years old, lefty, first baseman. He hits righties for power. For the whole field tendency, spray chart, vision not very good, not very clutch, durability, not a fielder. He's a bench bat from what I can see right now. Next up is Vincent Campos, Illinois boy, 64. Contact, 77 lefty contact with 66 power to go along with it. He may just be a lefty platoon guy. If he can, get some slap hits against righties, maybe work with a trainer, get his power up, he might be able to just be an everyday type player, though his fielding is not that good, and his durability is all right. Good speed though, in 80. Next up, Isaac Howard, Jamaican relief pitcher. Hit per nines is absolutely elite. 87 hit per nine. Gonna need to work on. He seems to be a guy that will pitch to contact because he knows you cannot hit him. You cannot get a solid base hit off of him. Solid velocity and good break. Might walk some guys, might K some guys. He's kind of up and down. 4-seam, slider, curveball, and a changeup. Good arm strength. No bat to speak of. And very durable. This guy, you know what? I think he'll become a major league. I don't know when because I don't run that team. The D-backs all the way right now. But yeah, actually not right now. I don't have GM contracts on. Next up, Andy Flutie. Yeah, another Illinois guy. Decent enough stamina for a reliever. Gonna need to work on a per 9. His home run, he's at least not gonna give up home runs, which might not be saying much, as he has very good control. 66, that is important. If you're gonna be, peppering the zone, not even peppering, really like, hitting the corners, trying to get the umps to work in your favor as opposed to the batter. Good velocity, good break. His first pitch is a slider, coming in at 86, four-seam and a cutter in the mid-90s at least, and a curveball at 81. So he's going to give a lot of batters problems just off the slider fastball combination. No bat to speak of, so he's at least decently durable. 22 years old. Might see him in a couple of years. Next up, Bobby Haley. He does hit for power as a catcher. Not a ton, but relatively enough. And as a lefty, he looks like he kills lefties and does a fair amount of damage against righties. Not much of a fielder though, so he's really probably more of a DH. Unless you really feel like you could work with that 33 fielding, 43 action and blocking. Oh my goodness. Speed, about average. Again, he looks like a real DH candidate. If he can ever get that fielding up to near 50, he's at least a starter every so often. William Blanks is next. He throws only 3 pitches, and they all break in some sort of fashion. Cutter, sinker, slider, they all come in about the high 80s, low 90s on the cutter. Could be an opener as a lefty with the 52 stamina. He's all right with the per 9s. Might not want to put him in a medium leverage situation. We'll see. Velocity is solid enough. Not a fielder, and do not put a bat in his hands, but he will pretty much not get injured, if you've got him working right in the offseason. Detroit is the third team on the clock, and these are the picks that they have mocked to them. First pick, Jeff Ullman, 22-year-old switch hitting, righty throwing pitcher. Comes in with 2 fastballs, 4-seam, 2-seam, changeup, slider, and a 12-6 curveball, 8 potential, 61 overall, from Indiana, not too far away. Good stamina. His hits per 9 is going to need work. His K per 9 is okay. His walks per 9 is solid. We'll give up the long ball, which kind of coincides with the hit per 9. Clutch, he needs to try to really avoid getting base runners on, as his control is not there. Velo is good. Break is also good. Not much of a fielder. His arm is all right. And with the bat in his hand, unless he's bunting, don't swing. 56 durability, so he might have some injury issues coming into the minors, and hell, even the majors if he ever makes it that far. Next up is second baseman Joaquin Merced, 52 overall, 18 years old, C potential, Floridian. He's okay with the bat in his hands, I guess, for a minor leaguer at 18 years old. He might outlast some guys with strictly durability. His fielding is just not really there. Doesn't throw very hard. It's not very accurate. I'd rather be accurate if you're not going to be strong armed, especially at second base, because second base you're not really making a whole lot of like hard long throws. The shortstop is right there, is an easy toss to your right. The first baseman is the easy toss to your left. Like nothing really you don't really need to throw all that hard. 67 speed though, so there's that. He's definitely a project. Next up is Sam Hayward, first baseman. And I don't know if y'all looking at the upper right-hand corner. That power is major league ready. As you can see, he's a first baseman. Georgian. Holy smokes, I can't speak today. His contact is not really there. He's got some bop, but his bop is mostly lefty bop, so he's probably a platoon hitter for the majority of his career, unless he can really, really up his righty game. Vision, discipline, just not there. Clutches, maybe every once in a while he might come up with something. Not a bunter. His durability is good enough. Arm strength not there. He's a first baseman. We don't concern ourselves with that. As we don't know if he has a secondary position. He probably does not. Stealing is a 63, which doesn't really mean much when you're only at 46 speed, but I've seen crazier things. And is not a pitcher at all, as the overwhelming majority of these guys are. I really got to remember, these guys are not Shohei Ohtani or Babe Ruth or Brandon McKay for that matter. All right. Next up, they got him taking Jaime Gonzalez, second baseman, 20 years old, righty. And as he does have the contact and the vision, along with probably the speed and the stealing, to be major league ready a lot sooner than his potential is suggesting. Again, that is major league bat worthy right there for contact, especially as a second baseman. His vision is definitely there. He doesn't hit for much power. Clutch, discipline. He's not a bunter. He's not that fast. It'd be nice if he were a little faster, but 68, we'll take it. Fielding I see why his potential is a D. His fielding is just not there. If he can ever become even a 50 rated fielder, I think he'll be perfectly fine. With a solid career for a couple years, but he's 20 years old, so that depends on when he comes up. Next up, we got relief pitcher Rob Patton, the lefty hurler of 2 fastballs, a 4 and 2 seamer, slider, and a curveball coming at 78 miles an hour. So he's definitely got a pretty large delta in terms of the pitch speed between his hardest pitch and his slowest pitch. His hit per 9 is solid, right where you like it. His K per 9, meaning he's not going to he's going to give up some hits, but not a ton. But he's also not going to get you out. Walks per 9 and his control are okay. Home runs per 9, he's not going to give up. He'll give up home runs at an average clip. Fielding, we don't concern ourselves too much with that, really, unless you're a starter. Like, really, when it comes to fielding, it's a bonus from a pitcher. His arm strength is good. Accuracy, all right. Don't put a bat in his hand. His durability is at a 64, but he's a reliever, so unless he's like trying to throw his arm out, he should be fine. Next up, we got relief pitcher Barry Smith from Maine, 19 years old, lefty. His primary pitch is the slider, though his four-seam is the harder of the 2 pitches, and he mixes in a 12-6 curve for good measure. Stamina, we're going to skip over that, let's be real. They're relief pitchers. Wherever their stamina lies, you kind of pitch them as to that. It kind of plays into their role. Hit per 9, K per 9 is okay. Is all right for a 19-year-old minor leaguer. Walks per 9 is decent. Clutch, do not put him in there in a high or even medium leverage situation. Control, decent. We can live with that. Like it to be better, but we can live with that. Velocity is good. Fielding, no. Even if you gave him 2 gloves, he couldn't field it. Arm strength is good. And don't put a bat in his hand, but his durability is pretty damn good, 80. Lastly, we look at Rafael Mota, 64 potential, 22 lefty. A lot of lefties going in this. 30s for contact, better against righties than lefties, which is usually the case for lefty batters. His vision is going to need work. Obviously, durability is solid. He is a pole hitter through and through. Fielding is all right. It'd be nice if his arm could kind of balance the fact that he doesn't field worth a damn, and his speed would be nice if it were higher as well. Despite the fact he does hit righties slightly better, his hot cold zones are better for lefties, which makes no sense. If I had to give this team a grade, I'd say it's about a C+.